QE1.
Hello and welcome. Now, I know it's rather dry and balmy out today, so I'd like to thank you for sweating it out and coming anyways to this truly auspicious occasion. Let me begin with introducing myself. Our name is Queen Elizabeth I of England, also referred to by the name of Queen. Now, the royal use of we is most definitely used. And now, if you could turn off all pagers, faxing machines, and cellular devices, that would be greatly appreciated. Now, we have brought two of our closest friends today, along with a housewife and a narcissist. I do apologize. 4 of our cherished friends are here today, and I would like to remind you that time is limited, so if you could limit your questions, that would be greatly appreciated. Or if you don't want to ask Mary Stuart any questions at all, that would be totally fine. Now, does anyone have any questions?
I actually have a question for Mary Stuart.
Of course you do. Mary? Take the throne.
Susan Weiss, USA Today. You've been referred to as Bloody Mary. That's quite a nickname.
Yes, I simply have no idea what it refers to, besides a revolting tomato drink.
Elizabeth's 45-year reign has often been considered the most prosperous in English history. Would you like to comment?
Well, speaking as a completely objective third-party observer with absolutely no personal interest in the matter, I shall recount my cousin's, the Queen Elizabeth, acts in a fresh manner that will give you all a fresh perspective. Let us begin with foreign relations. Now, foreign relations is very important. By my personal marital foreign relations, England could have prospered under my rule. Relations with France is no triviality. Oh, but why stick with tradition? Why stick with sense or political stability? Instead, she remained alone. Instead, she possessed the ridiculous idea that an independent queen is better than one who forges a treaty. My word, independent woman, like that is ever going to be a thing. Now, my cousin threw off tradition in such a way that created a new order, one of independence, socially through her refusal of marriage, and religiously through her reestablishment of the church as a diverse body. Now, speaking as a completely objective third-party observer with no personal interest in the matter, by royal right, that English throne should have been mine. Now, I know this is simply a press conference, and it has nothing to do with names or the like, but I'll just leave you with this. I wouldn't name my pony after Elizabeth, and frankly, anything else.
I have no idea what she was referring to on that last comment. Stephanie Strong, New York Times. Now, Cecil, my question is for you. How would you describe your relationship with the Queen?
What was that? Speak up, please.
Cecil, any comments on your relationship with the Queen?
Try speaking above something only bats can hear, Sonny. In my opinion, one notable success of Her Majesty's reign was the flourishing of exploration. Sir Francis Drake circumnavigated the world, and Sir Walter Raleigh founded the colony of Roanoke. And now that I think about it, that was a dud. He later applied for land for the colony of Virginia in 1584 and named it after the Virgin Queen herself. She established the enduring principle, prescription without possession is not valid. Moreover, all are at liberty to navigate, since the air and the sea are common to all. And boy, that really tickled the King of Spain's stuck-up nose. 3 sniffs and a powdered wig, and the Spanish Armada was setting sail for our British shores. Since then, Our Majesty has been regarded as the monarch who transformed our small nation into a strong and imposing force. But when the time came to go to war against Spain, Elizabeth did not hesitate, as I sure as hell did, for I dreaded the thought of war. But I knew that with our navy well-positioned and well-armed, we were on the cusp of becoming one of the greatest nations in this world. Oh, who are we kidding? Our navy was an old grandmother with a stump leg whose cataracts were only corrected by inch-thick glasses that she accidentally sat on, and anywho, Elizabeth told the men, "Fear not, for we are of the nature of the lion, and cannot descend to the destruction of mice and such small beasts." And when the time came to go to war against Spain, I'll tell you this, I about shat my pantaloons, but Elizabeth stood strong and we beat the Spanish. And in that great golden age, I stood by Elizabeth's side, and I saw in her a spirit which captured the hearts of her people, lit a fire beneath the great warriors of our land, and put the fear of God into the hearts of her pitied enemies. Next!
Deborah Lewis, People Magazine. There have been some allegations about the relationship between your husband, Sir Walter Raleigh, and the Queen. How do you respond to these allegations?
Everyone knows best.
You're referencing Queen Elizabeth.
Yes, the Queen. Everyone knows the Queen. But the truth is that she was also a very sad and lonely woman. One formula every woman knows is that if another woman loves your man, hate that woman. So what was my problem? Well, the Queen loved my husband, Sir Walter Raleigh. So what was my problem? Well, I couldn't very well hate the Queen.
Why did the Queen marry your husband?
I never said he loved her back.
Are we talking about the same Queen here? The, and I quote, good Queen Bess, the one that the people all loved?
Yes, same woman. Is that all?
One more question. Would you say that you and the Queen were similar at all? Do you ever love the same man?
Well, obviously I'm the one who married him. So she sacrificed her love for country and duty. But we all know that she wasn't trophy wife material anyway.
Am I correct in understanding that you feel sorry for the Queen?
Well, I suppose so. The formula says to hate the woman. But that would mean hating the Queen, my Queen, who saved our country. But you know, Debbie, they always say that the one that gets the man is the winner after all. And I can tell you who the winner is. The Real Housewife of England, that's it. Is that all you need?
More than enough, ma'am, more than enough.
Well, that was awkward for everyone. Now, is someone going to ask me a question, or did I just walk up all of those stairs for nothing?
Monica Williams, Wall Street Journal. I have a question for Catherine.
That's Ms. Ashley to you, boy.
Ma'am, I'm a girl.
Oh, yes, my girl Bess. I always knew she would mount to something. When I became her governess, I resolved to bring her up in the studies of mathematics, astronomy, history, Spanish, French, Flemish, and English. Everything except for Canadian. Does that answer your question?
Ma'am, I haven't asked a question yet. What would you say was your influence on the Queen?
Well, as a man by the name of Socrates once said, all monarchs are mortal. Therefore, Elizabeth is mortal. But what does that assume?
I have no idea.
Exactly, that Elizabeth was a queen.
I
Look, boy, this is the problem with kids these days. Let's assume that I was the greatest governess of them all. And now that you've mentioned it, I think that I was. But let's say that I wasn't. Elizabeth would have overcome any obstacle, and she would have become a great queen even if she was raised by an imbecile. I, however, was not an imbecile, so therefore she was not raised by an imbecile. One of my favorite things that she said was this: I know I have the body of a weak and feeble woman, but I have the heart and the stomach of a king, and of a king in England, too. What made her so great? Well, you could list off of her great list of accomplishments, but I think that it was because she did it all despite inheriting an unstable throne from her narcissistic cousin.
I do object.
Who tried to take away the crown from her, and she tried to save that cousin, but when her duty as queen demanded it, she had no problem executing her. Despite having a nation at war with itself over religion, despite being in love with a man who married another, despite all that, and despite having a navy that was laughable, a navy that she took and beat out the greatest fleet in the world, the Spanish Armada. Yes, despite all those things, she took our little country and made it the greatest in the world. Think about that. And then tell me, she's not a woman worth naming things after.
I always liked that woman. Did indeed.
Now, is that all? Any more questions?